Do 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 do. Hello, everybody. I hope everyone is having a great Thursday. Today is the 12th, and we are going. Let's see what is going on in the world right now. Ooh. Let's talk about Tulsi Gabbard's very random nuclear threat social media video. If you guys haven't had a chance to check it out, it's pretty interesting, I have to say. Let's see, pull up a picture of let's pull up a picture of Tulsi because she doesn't get enough attention these days, I feel like. I don't know if you guys had a chance to check out Tulsi Gabbard's nuclear threat video. It's pretty interesting because oh, hey Jay, what's going on? Yeah, I'm on the computer right now, so I can actually look him up. I remember, like, I know the gist of his story. Let's pull it up since you're here. We could talk about Vitality real quick, and then okay, let's see. He's jailed for 18 months for prank videos. Okay, I want to see the video. Yeah, I remember this. Yeah, he was going around harassing people. Like I said before, I hate those prank videos. I hate them so much. They're so stupid. Because like these people didn't do anything, and you're getting this reaction, and you're just making money. Okay, Vitality. Whenever he gets out of jail, it'll be very interesting if I'm surprised with the protesters going on right now, and no one's made a prank ice video. That would be actually really funny. I don't know. Like you just like pop into a like a business and you're like ice, and then you just like I don't know. We're throwing out ideas out there. I'm surprised no one has made that prank video yet because that seems like that's what's going on right now. Like you just right, like these prank guys, they like to push the boundaries, right? And they love getting arrested. I don't know. I feel like that is up someone's avenue right now. Like you just pop into a I don't know, a janitorial company, and they're just like ice, and then it's just see who, like people that scatter. That's crazy. I don't know. All right. Let's move on. We'll come back to it if you really want to talk about it, Jay. The Tulsi Gabbard thing. If you guys haven't seen, she put out a nuclear threat video, and she's like, like the likelihood of nuclear threat is very high, and everyone's kind of freaking out about it because it's kind of like it was very random. It came out of nowhere. No one's like talking about it except for her, and everyone's saying that this video is it's on like people thought there was AI because anytime you see the blank background and the person's like hello, like they just do the face like this. People think it's AI, but it's real because it's on her X account, and nobody knows what to think about it because it's heavily produced too. Like it's done documentary style. My thoughts on it is that it's almost like when someone takes like a world trip, because she did this right after her trip to Japan to visit the bomb sites. And it's like someone that goes abroad and then they come back and they're like their mind is just like open now to different cultures and stuff. And she's like, nuclear threats happening. I don't know. Some people are saying that we're very close to a civil war. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? That sounds crazy because there's like so many things that come into play here. If you want to talk civil war, because you got the red states, they have all the guns, right? But then you got some of the blue states, they got the people in Mula. So, like, what do you think is more advantageous, to have more people or to have the military training and guns? I'm just throwing it out there because, like, I feel like the media is like super excited. Don't you guys feel about that like this right now? Lately, because of how fast the news has been going, I feel like they're so excited for these things to go down because then they have things to report on. Like, they have so much to report on, they cannot even keep up. Tulsi Gabbard drops this nuclear threat thing, and it barely registered with anybody. you know, it barely registered, and they're like, oh, okay, whatever, nuclear threat. We have other things to worry about right now. But I'm trying to think, like, a civil war. I I, I don't know. I hate their talk about. CNN has been pushing this quite hard. This is where I got this idea because I watched a CNN clip yesterday, and they were talking about the likelihood of civil war in America is high. I'm like, no, no, please, do not, do not even float those ideas out there. But I was saying that people were calling King's Day this Saturday, the parade. It could be the starting point. Who knows? All right. Let's see what else. The Tulsi Gabbard thing's weird. Oh, there was that. This is what I woke up to. I woke up to seeing a Boeing plane go down in India, and I was thinking to myself, "Wow, it's been a while since we saw Boeing in the news." It seems like this is Boeing's PR plan. You know how they say that any publicity is good publicity, and I feel like Boeing has been. They felt. I think Boeing feels like they haven't been in the news cycle for a while, so they have decided to put some marketing out there. You put the phone call into the marketing team and, like, hey, we're not in the news. We need to be in the news or else people forget about Boeing's. And yeah, so then kaboom, kaboom, plane goes down. And then we're talking about Boeing again. Like, I wonder when a plane goes down in the first 10 minutes as it goes up, like people are getting into it. And then let's say like a Boeing executive, you wake up and you open your eyes and you pick up your phone and you see a plane went down in India. And you're like, oh, please don't be a Boeing. Please don't be a Boeing. Oh, it's one of ours. But there was one survivor. And, let me see if I can pull up a picture of this guy. The one survivor. I found a picture. Okay. Let's see if I can put a picture of this guy. The one survivor thing just reminds me of. You guys can see it. This guy is the single survivor of the Boeing plane that went down in India, and let's see, what's his name? He's a British national, Vanwash Kamar Ramesh. Vanwash Kamar Ramesh. Okay, solo survivor so far that we know of, and that look on his face, he's seen some things. He said that basically that the plane went up and then within 30 seconds it crashed. So any other reports out there from the media? Because in the morning I saw like they this is how like silly the media is. Okay, they're reporting so quickly. I mean, people like me do the same thing, but I have the benefit of not being a real journalist like they are. They're supposed to get the facts. I'm here just to talk. And the expert that they had on CNN was like saying that, oh, she examined the plane footage and everything, and she was like, oh, the flaps the flaps and this and that. It cannot be after takeoff. And then the anchor that was in the thing was like, yeah, they said that it crashed right after takeoff. And the expert was like, no, I examined the flaps and the flip flops and whatnot aren't up deployed. And usually when the plane is taking off and blah 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 blah, that doesn't happen. And then you have this guy. He was on the plane, and he said, yeah, it crashed. It was like within 30 seconds or so. And if you saw his face, he's having a Final Destination moment right now. Which reminds me, I just watched the newest one. I think it's called Bloodlines. Is that what we're on now? If you guys haven't seen it, it's a Final Destination movie. They're all about the same. The first one was really good. Second one was pretty good, and then after that, it got really ridiculous. I want to say this one was pretty ridiculous. Like all the Final Destinations are really ridiculous. Because I guess there's only so many ways. Final Destination, but I like the idea of the Final Destination movies. That you can like go at any second, because I like any of the movies that you can rewind, like that the plot is that you change a little bit here and there and you affect like the chain reaction. I love those kind of movies. Like my favorite movie of all time is Groundhog's Day, and any movie that has that concept, because I really like the concept of you kind of like make a small change and then there's just this happens and that happens and you didn't think about that. Like I love that. So there's that aspect, that small aspect in Final Destination that I kind of like, but the rest of the movie was really ridiculous because I don't want to do any spoilers. If you guys want to watch it, watch it. But yeah, this guy. Too bad. I mean, I guess he's British. I don't know. I'm trying to think like what is the bright side on this for him. I mean, I'm pretty sure he can sue Boeing. Like he can sue people. I guess he's gonna be okay. Like financially, he's gonna be okay. Because it's better than. Okay, here we go. Boeing. This is gonna get a little crazy, but okay. The Boeing crash, right? This is not something that you guys are gonna hear, but I'll say it. Boeing is more likely to basically make sure this guy, because it would be cheaper for him to, than for him to survive. Okay, here's the logic here. Okay, so if you guys don't know, in the India plane crash, there is one survivor. Okay, I believe they've already done the math a long time ago. Let me look it up real quick. But I believe it's $200,000 per body. But the fact that this guy survived, it's gonna be millions of dollars. So, I mean, just throwing out their conspiracy hat on, we've seen Boeing, all kinds of people, you know what I mean? It would be way cheaper for them to send somebody to give this guy a visit. I don't know. Paid for. Okay. AI, tell me, how much do airlines on average pay? Okay, here we go. Google AI says, on average, an airline will pay around $363,000 per death. Okay. Now, that is one time, right? This guy that survived, he is gonna call one of those injury lawyers or whatever. Those injury lawyers are gonna come at him like vampires because like that's why I looked up where is this guy from. He's British. They have lawyers in Britain, right? If he was in India, I'm pretty sure that it's not gonna be the same. But I'm pretty sure the lawyers in India, oh my gosh, in Britain are the same as the lawyers in America. When they see that he survived this plane crash, they are super excited because this guy is going to get multi-million-dollar payout. It is what it is. And so, I mean, that's the bright side. See, there's a bright side to every story. Unless Boeing sends their special agent to go give him a visit, you know. And because think about it, okay, how much is it from watching those sting videos? Have you guys ever seen those where like a wife or someone tries to hire a contractor from the internet, and it's always like 5Gs, 10,000 or whatever, right? So you're saying Boeing with their billions of dollars, or no, there's some like heartless accountant type person at the top of Boeing, and he wakes up and he sees this news, and he says, "Oh, plane crash," and then the initial reports were they're all gone, all gone, and then so he's like, "Oh, okay, all gone. Let's see, 200 and something passengers." He just does the straight math in his head, right? Let's see. Okay, I think there were like 200 passengers times $360,000. Boom, 72 million. And he's like wakes up and he's like, okay, 200 passengers, 363. Like he knows all the numbers off the top of his head. When he wakes up, like how much is the average payout per death, right? And he's like, okay, 200 passengers, $360,000. That's $72 million. Okay, cool. And then the report comes out. One survivor comes out. One. And he's like, wait, what? That 72 million, I already moved it to the side. This one guy, he's gonna cost us like an additional 20 million. And he's like, the Boeing exec is like, you know what? Let me call John. He'll take care of this. You know what? In fact, John can take care of this for 100,000. And that number now is 71 million. Great, call it a day. I don't know. I'll just throwing it out there. I'm pretty sure no one else will talk about that, but it must cross the mind of a Boeing exec when they see there's one survivor, and they can, supposedly allegedly, Boeing has a reputation of doing that. Let's see what else is going on real quick. Different pace in story. I saw this story about an Australian woman who's on trial right now for they're calling it the mushroom murder of in-laws. This story is in a way very ridiculous, and let's talk about it. Let's just talk about it. All right, let me see if I can pull pictures so you guys know what I'm talking about. All right, let's get a picture up. So you guys see what I'm talking about. I'm talking about this case right here. Australian woman on trial for mushroom murder of in-laws. She says she was trying to fix trying to fix a bland lunch. Okay. Very interesting. Mushroom murder. Okay, let me read into this a little bit. See what is going on. Okay, so this happened in New Zealand. Oh wait, no, this is where they're reporting. Okay, before Patterson's in-laws and their relatives arrived for her lunch, she brought pricey ingredients, consulted her friends about recipes, and sent her children to a movie. Interesting. I, I mean, I feel like her sending her children off is very suspicious because if you're gonna do that kind of activity, you don't want the kids around. Um, Reminds me of a story that happened around my area where a father took out his wife while they sent and himself while they sent their children with another family to Disneyland. So suspicious. Okay, then the Australian woman served them a dish containing poisonous death cap mushrooms. Okay, if I remember, death cap mushrooms are the ones that you would see in Mario. I'm trying to remember. Are they the ones that are red with white spots, or the ones with red with yellow spots? Okay. Okay. Oh wait, they look like regular mushrooms. Ooh, that's scary. Oh, what? I thought the death cap mushrooms were the red ones with white spots, but when I Google the pictures, they look almost like regular ish mushrooms. Ooh, that's kind of scary. Okay. Okay. Very interesting. Okay, okay. Let's get back to the story. Okay. Oh yeah, so that I mean, I guess that changes the story a little bit for me because I thought those were death cap mushrooms were the red ones with the white or yellow spots. I forget which one. I know there's one, they look very similar and they're very poisonous. One and then you have to tell by the color. Very scary. Okay. Let's see, where were we? Oh yeah. Oh wait. A meal that was fatal for 3 of her 4 guests. Again, so let me recap that again. The Australian woman served them a dish containing poisonous death cap mushrooms. A meal that was fatal for 3 of her 4 guests. Again, solo survivor issues. If you're gonna plan one of these things, make sure to get them all. because because one of them survived. You know what she? Okay, her mistake here. Her mistake is that she. And again, we're not there. We don't know exactly all the exact details. I'm just saying, if I was in her position and this was the plan, right? You would, I would have a little bit in my own dish as well. You know what I'm trying to say? Where unless she was unless she was the one survivor, they're like, oh, what? You know what I mean? But if this was your plan, I would make 5 dishes of this, right? That 5th dish is the one I'm eating, and it has it in there, which is a little bit. So then you can say that, whoops, I didn't know. Like, it would be very suspicious. I'm just saying, again, we're not there. This allegedly, supposedly, throw it out there. We're not there. Um, it if she was the only one that didn't eat any of this deadly mushroom dish, that's very, very suspicious. I'm just saying, if I was there and this was what I was doing, I would have a 5th dish that I'm eating that has the mushroom in there, but just a little bit, just enough to get a little sick, so you can go, whoa, what's going on? All right, let's read on. Let's see what else. Okay, whether that was Patterson's plan is at the heart of the triple murder trial that has gripped Australia for nearly 6 weeks. Okay. Prosecutors in the Supreme Court case in the state of Victoria, Australia, says the accused lured her guests to lunch with a lie about having cancer. Okay, that's a different spin to the story, because to lure them to say that you have cancer, that's crazy. Like, imagine that phone call. I have cancer. This could be my last meal. Please come over. And then someone's like, "Oh, I don't want to go to this." I'm like, she has cancer. Let's go. That's kind of crazy. Okay. Okay, but her lawyers are saying that the tainted beef Wellington, okay, she served was tragic accident caused by mushroom storage mishap. She denies murdering her estranged husband's. Okay, another very interesting detail to this. Now I feel like we're back on the this is on purpose thing. Her estranged husband's parents, Don and Grace Patterson, and their relative, Heather Wickerson. Oh, I guess this ties back into. Um, I guess this ties back into. She had to lure them with talks of cancer, because if you guys have known anyone that's been through estrangement or divorce or whatever, the in-laws are not your friends, right? They don't want to hang out with you, and maybe she blames them for their relationship falling apart, and she wants to get rid of them so she can get back with her hubby bubby, right? That's a possibility. Okay, okay, but the fact that they're her estranged husband's parents, not very good. Okay, the mother also denies attempting to murder Heather's husband, Ian Wilkerson. Ooh, okay, he's the one that survived in a rare mishap. Okay. On Wednesday, she spoke publicly for the first time about the fateful lunch, okay, offering explanations on how she planned the meal and didn't become sick herself. Okay, okay. We're getting some more details here. How did she not get sick herself? We gotta find this out. This is important. Okay. No one disputes that Patterson, who's 50, served death cap mushrooms to her guests for lunch in a rural town of Leoganit. Oh my god. Leogatna. You know that land was not originally Australian. They That's definitely Aborigine land. Okay, Patterson said Wednesday she splurged on expensive ingredients, researched ideas to find something special to serve. She deviated from her chosen recipe to improve the bland flavor. Interesting. That means that she's made this before. She believed that she was adding dried fungi bought from an Asian supermarket in a container. Oh! How dare she? How dare she? Let's read that again. She believes she was adding dried fungi bought from an Asian supermarket from a container in her pantry, she told the court, now thinking there was a possibility there were some foraged ones in there as well. She told her lawyer, Colin Mandy Patterson had foraged wild mushrooms for years, she told the court, and she put some in her pantry weeks before the deaths. Okay, I don't think that helps her case at all. She's saying, I can't believe that she's trying. Is she blaming the Asian supermarket now? Because if that was true, that's a big lawsuit. That's a recall happening, no? um, I don't feel like that helps her case at all, because she's saying that she foraged for wild mushrooms for years, and because where do you even find death cap mushrooms unless you forage for them or you deliberately bought them? You know what I mean? Like, unless is she insinuating that the Asian supermarket has dried death cap mushrooms? You know what I mean? So I don't know. Now I feel the fact that she is a mushroom forager and she's using death cap mushrooms, it feels very suspicious. Okay, I don't know. Okay, but it didn't get to the. Let's read on. because I want to figure out how did she survive. That's an important part. Okay. Okay. The accused says she shouldn't have lied about her cancer. Okay. Patterson, who formally separated from her husband, Simon Patterson, in 2015, said that she felt hurt that Simon told her the night before the lunch that he wasn't comfortable attending. Well, he's the smart one, you know? He's the smart one. She later told his relatives that she had arranged the meal to discuss her health. Patterson admitted this week that she never had cancer, but after a health scare, she told the in-laws she did. Okay, okay, I can see her thing here. She planned this meal. She bought all the stuff, and husband wasn't gonna come. So she's like, "I got cancer. You have to come. You have to come. I have cancer." Okay. Okay. Let's see. In reality, Patterson says she intended to have a weight loss surgery, but she was too embarrassed to tell anyone and planned to pretend to her in-laws that she was undergoing cancer treatment instead. Oh my goodness, that's extra special. Um, I don't know. I feel like this. Well, you can tell this happened a long time ago because she said this was. Well, she separated from her husband in 2015, but I don't think this dinner happened more recently. It says 2 years ago, 2023. We're just that's how slow the courts move. If this happened in the last, I want to say like year or two from now ago, no one would bat an eye because Ozempic. Everyone's like openly on Ozempic right now, and major weight loss is not a thing that people are even shy about anymore. So, circumstances of timing, I guess. Circumstance. Okay, okay. Okay, let's see. I was ashamed of the fact that I didn't have control over my body or what I ate. A tearful Patterson said Wednesday. I didn't want anyone to tell anybody that I should have lied. I shouldn't have lied to them. Okay, okay. Let's get to how did she survive. Patterson said she threw up her mushroom meal. Okay, the accused says she believes she was spared from the worst effects of the poison meal because she self-induced vomiting shortly after her guests left. Okay, she had binged almost on cake and made her sore throat, a problem she had struggled with for decades. Okay, she also believes that she had eaten enough of the meal to cause her subsequent. Oh my god, this is not even a word I know. Subsequent diarrhea. Subsequent. Let's look up that word because I mean I have an idea what it means, but I'll look this up for a friend of mine. Let's see. Oh, okay. Subsequent, coming after something in time. Which, I'll tell you, I'm just asking for a friend, not me. Okay. She then sought hospital treatment, but unlike her lunch guests, she quickly recovered. At the hospital where her guests' health were deteriorating, her estranged husband asked her about the dehydrator she used to dry her foraged mushrooms. She said, "Is that how you know how you wait? Is that how you poisoned my parents?" She said. Simon Patterson asked her, growing afraid that she would be blamed for poisoning and that her children would be taken from her. Patterson said she later disposed of the dehydrator. She told investigators she never owned one and hadn't foraged mushrooms before. Okay, see, this is what I'm talking about. I said it earlier when I was reading this that it doesn't help her case that she had been foraging for mushrooms for years. And the husband knows this because he was with her before, and he probably knows that she is a mushroom forager. My wife wanted to go forage for mushrooms at one point, and I told her, you're insane. Um, because you know what's gonna happen, right? She's gonna find some mushrooms, and the first person that has to try them out is gonna be her husband. And he knows he's probably eaten a few of these death cap mushrooms before it, and he knows that she knows, you know, what they look like. It doesn't look good. She said she didn't have a dehydrator when he was certain she did. Very interesting. Okay. Okay, still at the hospital, she insisted she bought all the mushrooms at stores, even though she knew there was a possibility that forged mushrooms had accidentally found their way into the meal. She was too frightened to tell anyone. Also later, Patterson said she remotely wiped her cell phone while she sat in the evidence locker to remove pictures of mushrooms. Ah! Prosecutors argued in opening their case in April that she poisoned her husband's families on purpose. Although they didn't suggest a motive, she carefully avoided poisoning herself and faked being ill, they said. The trial continues on Thursday. Okay, interesting. She's facing 25 years for attempted murder. Okay, what do we think about this, guys? Well, this happened in Australia. I don't know what their laws are, but seems like with the opening of the internet and people are posting tons of husband wife content, it feels like all women and a lot of relationships are the same. And I feel like she definitely, I don't. Her case seems very weak. I'll say that. Um, I mean, she did what I always said that if I was in her shoes, what I would do is eat a little bit. Um, but the fact that she threw up right away afterwards doesn't help her case at all. And unless you know how these court cases go, they're gonna bring in they're gonna bring in some point. They're like, oh, she's battled with weight issues her whole life and bulimia or whatever. Um, I don't think it's enough. It is the fact that she said that she bought these mushrooms leads to a more concerning question of, well, if that's the case, that means these um, mushrooms need to be recalled from all these stores that you bought them from, right? I don't know. Okay, that is pretty much what is going on in the world right now, unless there's something that you guys are dying to talk about that you feel like is interesting that happened more recently. I'm trying to see. I don't feel like there's anything else that's very interesting that I want to cover today, unless we want to talk about the riots and stuff. I mean, I'll just quickly touch on one thing that I found very interesting that happened yesterday. Is the Elon kind of backing down situation? I found that very interesting, and it kind of highlights one thing is that power is power, because we know that I don't like calling Elon the richest man. I'll just say Elon's the richest man in America. I'll say that. Okay, he's the richest man. Donald Trump is the most powerful man, and you kind of have the clash together. Most powerful, richest, right? And Elon backing down shows you that power is power, and power is something that even money cannot buy. I mean, you can buy lots of power with money, and don't get me wrong, but it can only take you so far. And it was proven when Elon tried to buy that election cycle in Wisconsin. He tried to flex his money, and that's literally the downfall of the relationship. If you want to trace back, is when uh, Elon failed in Wisconsin because he did that by himself without without like any like no one else is like, oh, okay, yeah, Elon, go over there. He's like, let me show you what I can do. And he flippity flopped. And that's when you start seeing him less in the news. And yeah, that was the downfall. And on Trump's side, what I find very interesting though is how much Trump holds back on completely ripping into Elon, because what's very interesting is that Trump rips into everybody all the time for them doing the all kinds of random whatever it could be, right? But Elon, he lets slide, which I found like he's trying so hard um not to, and then, and today or yesterday Elon kind of backed down, and because he knows that power is power. So I just want to touch on that real quick, and that's basically it for now. I'll be back later. We gotta take a small break, get some other work done, and we'll be back. See you guys later. Thanks for hanging out, and let me know if there's anything, or what we haven't done in a while. We haven't tried to solve a world problem. If there's a world problem that we want to just brainstorm on how to fix, let's talk about it. I think that's always the fun part of just coming up with silly ideas. Um, maybe the next one I'll figure out a good way to solve this protest problem. So there has to be a solution that would make sense for everybody, because if you guys go into any of these streams of people covering the protests that's popping up, it is the most interesting dive into what's going on in America right now. That the reading the streams there, that is something that the media does not have time to do, or or maybe they don't even know how to decipher what people are even talking about in these in the streamers, the comments in the streamers, because that's my favorite part. I go in there and you see people saying like the helicopters on top, what they should do is drop a net onto the protesters to round them up. There's that. And then there's some people who are like, oh, this is a big waste of everyone's time. I mean, the last footage I saw before jumping on here was literally a National Guard guy on his phone, just standing around. And this is CNN or whoever covering this, and they're literally just like, they have the camera on him like for like 30 minutes or an hour, and they're just watching this one National Guard guy on his phone. And I was like, this seems like a big waste of everyone's time. Yeah, so if you go into the comments for any of these streams, it is wild, because it's like you got people like, get them all out of here, and then you got people saying, like, we need them. And yeah, I'm pretty sure we could find a happy medium between that. Let's put some thought into that, because realistically, I don't know how you guys feel, but deep down in my heart, I feel like it is impossible to decouple or deport everybody. You know what I mean? It's impossible. I did see that one thing that Elon did, or they're saying that this was the Doge initiative. They recoded or did something to one of the apps that a lot of these immigration people use to show locations. And so that's how ICE has been finding people, because it's on their phones. And I don't know. I thought that was very interesting. All right, I'll see you guys later. I'll be back. Be back.